Welcome to a brand new podcast, and this is the Oracle 19, and my name is Greatness. Again, thank you for your continued support, guys, and continue supporting the machine. We're on all major platforms, as you know. If you didn't know, I'll break that down for you. We're on Anchor.fm, Google, iTunes, Apple, Spotify. All our information will be in the description box on all those major platforms. And if you wanted to support the machine, you can go on, for example, Anchor.fm and make your contribution, your free will offering there. Or you can go to our PayPal account, and you can send, and our email actually is evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. If you want to pay through PayPal, you can just send your free will offering to our email address, evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. We also have a GoFundMe page, which will be in our description box. So definitely you can look into that as well. We have a baby shopping mall. If you didn't know, now you know. You can definitely support and shop online. That's www.evolutionoflondon.com. Once again, that's www.evolution.com. We have a whole range of products globally for your needs, and that's from clothing, tools, furniture, and perfume, cologne, just as examples. So definitely check us out there. Also, you can shop www.evolutionoflondon.org. Once again, that's www.evolutionoflondon.org. There we have custom clothing, accessories, and digital products there as well. So definitely check us out there. Also, royalty9.gumroad.com. So that's royalty9.gumroad, G-U-M, road, R-O-A-D.com. There you will find ebooks and software there. So definitely check that out as well. Music is by Cheap Limousine. Cheap Limousine, you can check out his channel, and there you can find his other social media platforms have hundreds and hundreds of different beats. So definitely check him out. And speaking about YouTube, we have two YouTube channels. Greatness 19 channel, we have over 125 videos and climbing. So we have basically dealing with knowledge and something to give a different perspective. So elevate your third eye. So check that out as Greatness 19 channel, and there's links there in the description box of that channel, so you can check that out and support the machine that way. Also, Mr. Evolution of London, that's our health and wellness channel. Definitely like, subscribe, and support both channels, and share. Pass along to family, friends, and foes. Do not be selfish, guys. Support the machine. Mr. Will, he's a fitness consultant. Been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. You can email him at williesfitness99@gmail.com. That's Willies, W-I-L-L-Y-Z, fitness99@gmail.com. And also his website, www.wjaaccessories.com. So that's www.wjaaccessories.com. There you have a whole range of different products. Definitely you want to check that out. I believe now over 100 different products on there. So definitely support his website as well. And we want to welcome to the family Jeff. His company is multiraffles.com. And that's MULTI raffles, RAFFLES.com. You can email him. His email address is affiliatesforgood@gmail.com, and contact Jeff. His website is not a charity. They're a web-based platform provider that helps nonprofits raise money using raffles. The company is looking for multiple affiliate business partners throughout North America to help them sign up nonprofits who would be interested in using their web-based fundraising raffle tools. Affiliates will not be soliciting companies for money. Revenue will be generated by the nonprofit organization, individual fundraising teams, and other means of marketing. And through the website, it breaks down the revenue when you donate, how much you will receive, and again, it's a very good program actually. As I was reading it, you should check it out. Go to the website multiraffles.com. There you will see what I'm talking about. It will break down more than what I'm explaining. Is a great cause for what I have read. So definitely check it out. And the email, his email will be in our description box as well. And we want to welcome Jeff to the family. Also, I'd like for you to check out Mr. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. -radio.com, voice of reason. Mr. Williams have a website, www.IamZoeWilliams.com. Once again, that's www.IamZoeWilliams.com. He's a self-published author, relationship coach. He's been on television thousands of times, and a radio personality. Definitely a very intelligent man. Definitely check out his platform. You can always go on YouTube and type in his name. He's on all major platforms and been around for decades. So check Mr. Zoe Williams. Again, www.IamZoeWilliams.com. Now, all our information you will find again in our description box. So any questions, concerns, you can always email me as well, evolutionoflondon@gmail.com, for any business or sponsorship questions or concerns. So definitely check us out, and then we'll take it from there. Now, today's topic, we're going to talk about the great destruction of society. The great destruction of society. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, with all the, as you can see, it's out here, so it shouldn't be new to you. The pandemic, post and pre, the pollution in the air and water, inflation, GMO foods, genetically modified, all of these things is put out here. And the question you have to ask yourself, who is the puppeteers of all of this? You have feminism as well, the breaking down of society. Now, I give my perspective, whether right or wrong, up and down. Now, I feel all of these, the breakdown of society, is purposely put out here by the elitists. It's your old white men that control, that have their hands in everything. Business, environment, propaganda. And who are these elitists? The Vanderbilts, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Morgans, just as examples. Is that true or not? That's something for you to think about. I mean, are they the puppeteers with foreign affairs? Are they the puppeteers of what goes on with the UN? Are they the puppeteers of what goes on in government? Do they control the federal treasury of all nations? Western society, that is. That's my question from me to you. And if this is true, now, can they pollute the air? When you see jets flying in the sky with vapor coming out of the plane, what is that? And why is it there in the skies constantly? Now, media will say just doing test runs. But you see vapors coming out of the tail of these jets. And if you look up chemtrails, is it a level of truth? There have been known cases in towns and cities that after these so-called chemtrails is coming out of these planes, days later people is getting sick. Is this a coincidence? And what about the water? Is the water polluted? Why is fluoride in the water? Now people will say because it purifies the water. But my question is, isn't fluoride a poisonous gas? Look that up for me. Just a question. I thought it was a poisonous gas. Is this part of the great destruction of society? Some people would say, greatness, you're a little bit over the top. Well, fluoride is in majority of these toothpastes that is produced by major corporations that is owned and low-key funded by the elitists. Is this Ripley's Believer or not? Am I talking from the Twilight Zone? You have to decide. But you need to look up these things. Now, we find an uptick of violence in society from the pre and post or future post pandemic. Why is an uptick of violence? My opinion, because there's no jobs. Even though, yeah, they talk about all jobs is available. But is this propaganda? Or is this truth? People don't have money. People's getting more desperate in the big cities and smaller towns too. Mental health, mental illness, I should say. Is this all just fact or fiction? You have to decide. But this is one thing consistent. There's more violence out here. But maybe it's just an illusion. Maybe it's just something I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I take that. But then mental illness, you can see, is on the rise, which produces more violence out here. If you walk in your neighborhood, town, city, you see people walking around like the Walking Dead. In cities, you see old ladies, old men, elderly, I should say, babies is being attacked, being beaten up for no reason, in broad daylight. Is this mental illness? Is this the downfall of society? Is this controlled? Is this put out there purposely to make people more violent? Is this part of depopulation? Because if you have more violence and people is killing each other, that reduces the population. Is this conspiracy? Is this fact? Or is this fiction? Something to think about. One thing we do know as regular citizens, you can see all around you mental destruction as well as physical destruction of society. Wherever the media, despite whatever the media tells you, despite what they're telling you, they will put that propaganda that things is not as bad. My question is, who controls the media? Think about it. Have you ever thought about who controls the media? Is this all of this information? What we see as citizens in the street, media turn around and make it seem like it's getting better. Government, local, federal, they'll give you a different story. But we as citizens see in our everyday life out in the streets. But the media will tell you something different. Who controls the media? Is this part of the great destruction of society? Something to think about. Depopulation, as I just was mentioned earlier. Depopulation of society. Is this, what's the point? What's going on here with feminism? Separation of men and women. All of this is put in the forefront. Heavy. Women's rights. Women have control of their body. And feminism is put out so heavy nowadays. The question is, why? Well, for one, if you have constant fight with men and women, there will be no babies that will come out of that. we can all agree that with feminism, and it's heavy, and actually it's not doing any good with society but causing separation. Men hating women, women hating men, which produce no children. And if they do, it just be potentially next generation of degenerates. It's my personal opinion. So is this propaganda? Is this part of the great destruction of society? Is this part of depopulation, population control? Is this all part of the great scheme of the elitists? Something for you to think about. Now that brings on to the next topic. Homosexuality. Oh yes. Oh yes, I'm saying I'm going there. Now, we're not talking about discrimination, okay? So let's not get simple, guys. I'm talking really, is this part of the great destruction of society? Homosexuality. Women living with women and they forming a so-called husband and wife relationship, and same thing with homosexual men forming a so-called husband and wife type of relationship. And then you have your transgenders. Is my question I'm asking, is this part of the great destruction of society? Because as we all know, if you having two women together, there will be no babies coming out of that. Now, guys, let's not get simple. You say, well, I could freeze an egg and I could get a sperm and then get a sperm and then put it in my mate's stomach and we're not talking about that part, okay? The natural order, we can all agree, is a man and a woman. That's the natural order to produce children. Not a woman and a woman. Not a man and a man. The natural order. Okay? To produce children. The natural order. Listen carefully, guys. The natural order. We're not talking about how science can do things to make it fit your scheme of things, of procreation. We're talking about the natural order. So this is not bashing homosexuals. This is not bashing. This is questions, statements, just to make you think. The natural order. See, my opinion, the powers that be, because now homosexuality and feminism is put out there every day in the media, heavy. And what really will come out of that is a lot of confusion. Everybody's confused. Everybody is confused. Feminism, confusion. Homosexuality, confusion. You don't know, as a regular heterosexual man or woman, you don't know really on a daily basis, how you should deal with a feminist, a homosexual. And what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, a homosexual, especially transgender. Look at the case of bathrooms. Which bathrooms should a transgender person is allowed to go to? Man or woman's bathroom? Confusion. That's just one of many examples. Heterosexuals don't even know how to deal with that. And because new laws is put out here stating that it is a human rights issue if you discriminate, and that brings confusion. I'm in the bathroom now as a man. Now I get a trans man that comes in the bathroom. I mean, this was a female in the past. Now is a man now, and you see how all the confusion. That's just one of many examples. And then feminism just separates man and woman. It just separates them. It's just real men don't want to deal with a feminist woman. I don't give a damn what you say, ladies. Real men don't want to deal with another alpha man or manly man mentality. I don't care how you want to put it in a nice little package, but real men not want to deal with that feminist type of ideologies. So that brings confusion. And is this the great destruction of society? Is this part of it? Confusion, propaganda. Who controls this? Who's the puppeteers of this? Something you need to research. Something that you need to decide. And also, we can't forget the media. Nowadays, the media put things out there to cause a lot of tension, violence, racism, etc., etc. All of this is bringing confusion. And it's put out there every day. We bombarded by the media every single day, every hour on the hour. Majority of stuff that comes on TV is trash. We can't deny that. And the media is putting a lot of negative information which causes confusion. Who controls these TV stations? These news channels? Who owns them? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because they're the ones that's putting it out there. So who controls them? In my opinion, the elitists. All of this propaganda. Who controls it? Is this part of the great destruction? Because when you affect the mental of society, they're going to be like sheep. And you are the wolf. Majority of people in society are sheep, just following the protocol. Confused, they just follow what the government tells them. They the puppets, controlled by the puppeteer. So, is this the great destruction? Is this part of it? So you have to really start using your third eye, guys. Because Western society is going down. You can see it every day. If you don't see it, you definitely blind. Now, in conclusion, what can you do? What should you do? Well, let's start with the basics. Start researching. Read. And not just read any books. Start reading. Getting books about what goes on in society. I'm not going to tell you what books you should read and not, that's something for you to decide, because I don't know the levels of your mental. Some of you guys might be so low in frequency mentally that you're only good to read a Jack and Jill book. Some of you guys just on that level. You know, but others, you might be on a higher level. Now, if you're really interested, send me an email. EVOLUTIONOFLONDON@gmail.com. I send you certain books. I send you links to books that you can buy. That's what I will say. Or other authors, other people that can break down certain things. Send me an email. And I'd be more than happy to send you some information that I know to point you in that direction. But that's one of the first steps. Pay attention to another thing. Pay attention to society. Pay attention to your surroundings. Because the puppeteers of society is moving us in a way that is increasing our mental illness. So you have a lot of people that look sane, but just they're gone. And that's a lot of us in society, men, women, and children. We don't know if we're coming or going. And then, is this part of the grand plan, the grand scheme of things to control the population? To kill most of us off, to kill 2/3 of us off. If the powers that be cannot kill us off physically, killing us off mentally is just as bad, because we just the walking dead. Because mental is just as worse than physical. Something for you to think about. Now again, I could go on and on this topic. The great destruction of society. I know y'all guys have many other examples, because there's many different topics that show it. But one thing I want y'all guys to do is really pay attention. Pay attention to your environment. Start having proper planning within your daily life. Time is everything. Don't waste your time, because you can't never get back yesterday. Yesterday is over. It will never come back again. So you have to deal with tomorrow. And as long as you're able to be blessed to wake up the next morning, then you have a chance to change your mindset, to defend yourself against the powers that be that's putting out this propaganda. Now, you might think I'm talking garbage, talking space talk. Hey, that's on you. It's on you. But pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to what you really need to achieve in life. Because that's going to help you defend against this great destruction of society. Stay strong, guys.
Sí.